Okay, welcome to this pre-Dr. Dot Festival podcast. I've got on the line here Sam Duckworth, who's better known as Get Cape, Wear Cape, Fly. To start with, Sam, can you just sort out a little confusion between one or two of us? Get Cape, Wear Cape, Fly, is that your pseudonym or is that the name of the whole band?
It's a pseudonym and the band name. It's kind of a way of just getting around having to answer that question with a answer.
Because you do a lot of not just stuff with the band, but you do an awful lot of solo acts as well. Hence some of our confusion. but
it's the name of the music, I think, is the best way of putting it.
Okay, your second album, Searching for the Hows and Whys, debuted at number 2 in the iTunes album chart. Were you surprised at quite how well it did? It
was quite mad, to be honest with you. I just find it funny because, I mean, iTunes is quite a good barometer of what, quite a good instant barometer. It was nice that, especially after how well the first one did, it's nice that people kind of wanted to come back and hear what was coming on in the future. And it was nice, reading some of the reviews on iTunes as well, that, people had downloaded it and were into the record.
And how would you describe the progression and the changes that you've made between your first and second albums?
I wouldn't say it was a progression, I'd say it was different, I think is the way to look at it. I think it's, I make a conscious decision really to make everything I do album-wise different from the last. And it's funny because for me the change didn't really seem so apparent because I've been playing with the band for a couple of years and the way that the sound had evolved live over the course of, from even before I'd even released the first album to when this one came out was quite natural. And I think a lot of people that see me live really understood the progression. But I guess if you'd only heard the records, it's quite big. There's a lot more. There's orchestral elements. It's very much more a straight up kind of band record than the first, which was kind of one guy and a laptop kind of doing his thing in a bedroom.
Right. And your new single, Keep Singing Out, comes out on May the 12th.
Yeah.
How would you describe that, and what was the inspiration, if any, behind the words to that song?
The song is just kind of about, just if you're doing something that you love, you're doing your thing, just keep at it. Circumstances change, the world changes, but as long as you stay true to yourself, then that's all that matters. And it's really a song that I wrote as kind of, as a reminder to myself, when I keep, every time I play that song live, being able to remind myself, kind of why I do what I do. And also it's a way of, saying to other people, whether they be my friends from bands or other people that, get downhearted, you just got to kind of do your thing.
Yeah.
It's quite a simple and vague message, but it's something that I think is incredibly important.
Of all the singles you've released so far, where does this one rank?
I don't know, I think one of the nice things about the singles is they really kind of all encompass the very similar ideal and a very similar sound. I think this is it's kind of, without trying to compare it too much to the others, it's kind of Ishmael Part 2.
Right.
It's kind of driven by like a two-steppy drum and bass break, and it's got kind of mariachi type horn nines. It's very much a kind of straight up song all the way through, just with a nice tempo and just a way of kind of I love doing the more folky side of things, and I love kind of doing going from quiet to loud and bringing it up and down. But I wanted to make a song that really just kind of drives all the way through and has a consistent pace.
And you've got quite a hectic schedule coming up by the looks of it. You've got both Glastonbury and Reading and Leeds festivals over the summer. Which out of those two are you particularly looking forward to?
I just think it's an absolute privilege to be doing both. To be doing festivals is amazing. I think it's got to be Reading. I've been going to Reading since I was 15, and Rage are playing on the same day as us, and I love that band. So, I can't wait to play the main stage of Reading. It's a dream come true, but also to then kind of stick around in the evening and watch, one of the greatest bands of all time do their thing in front of, hundreds of thousands of people is going to be amazing.
And obviously Glastonbury has had a few knocks over the last few weeks over the lineup for this year, particularly with Jay-Z. I presume that's not something that's going to bother you going into it. It's still presumably going to be an amazing experience for you.
Absolutely. I love Jay-Z. I think he's the best rapper currently and probably one of the greatest rappers of all time. Glastonbury's supposed to be a celebration of eclectic and exciting music of different genres and different feels. So why people are knocking somebody who's at the top of their game in a really different field, it really surprises me. I couldn't believe the amount of negative press when he was announced. I thought people would be welcoming it with open arms.
And the hectic schedule also takes in Nottingham as well. You're coming here for the Dot Stock Festival in a couple of weeks' time, headlining with Dirty Pretty Things. How much are you looking forward to that?
I love Dot to Dot. I've been to the last 2 years. I played a couple of years ago and just went last year. I love Nottingham. I've got really good friends that live up there who I knew from back home who've gone to uni there, and I've got a lot of time for it. It's a great scene. Dot to Dot is such a great concept, and it's probably the best place to do it, as well, because you've got, the rescue rooms and Stealth right next door to Rock City, and you've kind of, you've got the uni, which is not too far walk either. It's, it's a really, really eclectic and exciting list of bands, and it's a real honour to be headlining.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but you've played both universities in Nottingham in your time.
Yep.
Did you have a favourite out of the two?
I'm not going to pick. I mean, the Trent one was amazing. I mean, I'm not gonna pick between the two, because I don't want to be setting up any rivalries. I think
there's plenty of rivalry already.
I know, it's funny. I didn't realise how big it was until I some of my friends are at Trent, just speaking to them about the unis, and they're like, yeah, don't get us confused with the other one. Right, okay, calm down.
As someone who's been to both, I can quite clarify that the rivalry is huge between the two. Have you done any other Nottingham gigs too?
Yeah, I played. My first gig in Nottingham actually was at the place called the Old Angel, upstairs in that really sweaty room. I've been. We did Rock City Basement before as well, and I mean, I love Nottingham. It's one of my favourite places to play. I think I've never done the rescue rooms actually, and that's somewhere that I'd really like to do at some point.
What would you say is your favourite gig that you've played so far?
It's a difficult one to pick. I mean, indoors, I couldn't pick. I mean, they've all been, fantastic, from the small ones right the way through to, when we did the Astoria in London. They've all been amazing. I just love playing music live, and I love the energy that comes with people coming together. If I was going to pick, one moment, it'd probably be Reading last summer.
Yeah. Have you ever had a particularly bad experience at a gig? For example, have you ever been bottled or anything like that?
Never been bottled. I mean, I'm hoping that Dot to Dot won't be the first time that ever happens. So, no, but I think I've been fortunate, to be playing in places where that's not likely to happen. I mean, I've had a few problems with equipment, computers crashing halfway through songs, and we did the Truck Festival a couple of years ago, and there was a power surge because it was raining, and every piece of equipment we had with us blew up in one go, so we ended up just having to do the whole show acoustic, which was, it was still good fun, but it wasn't the same as being able to do a proper band show.
You've also recently collaborated with Kate Nash. What would she like to work with?
It's cool. I mean, the first show I actually ever did with Kate was at Nottingham Trent, when we played at the uni, and she's great. I mean, I've been friends with Kate for a while. It kind of, when we were making the track, it just felt like making a track with somebody that that plays music. It didn't really feel like, making a track with Kate Nash, global superstar, and then kind of in the process of when we made it to when it came out, she kind of blew up and got massive everywhere. So I'm really pleased for her.
Now, you get your name from a Batman comic.
Yep.
Is he to you the ultimate superhero?
No, I think Banana Man is the ultimate superhero. It's so quintessentially British as well. Let's make a superhero to encourage kids to eat fruit.
Yeah.
I think that's my favourite, or Super Ted. Straight
out of the Popeye genre, really.
I love it. It's like just in case having a cartoon, wasn't entertaining enough. Let's put some serious message about eating spinach or eating bananas, or let's throw that in there.